Hello people of YouTube, my name is Brad, this is my channel Animate Orange, and this weekend in 3D metal model news, a few new things to talk about. First of all, surprise to me, Fascinations or Metal Earth has put a couple of not so new coming soon models on their page. These are models that I have seen before and actually think that I own. I say think, well, we'll get to that. First of all, we have the Burrows from Harry Potter, the Burrows in color. And then we have the Hogwarts Express with tracks in color. Now these models were previously released as Books A Million exclusives, and I ended up getting both of those exclusives because I do have a Books A Million in my community. I got both of them shortly before the pandemic happened. One quite a ways before and the other one shortly before. One of them I've built, the other one I haven't yet. But it looks like that exclusivity, is that the right word? Is going away, and now these models are going to be released in general so that you can get them pretty much anywhere Metal Earth is sold, assuming they'll be the same models. Now they look the same, the pictures look the same. Like I said, I've already built one and I have the packaging here of the Burrows, which I did build, and it's up on the shelf behind me somewhere. I wonder if the packaging is going to change, if it's going to go to just the flat sheets like cardstock sheets that you normally see. I did notice that the model numbers are different. Now if we go look at the Burrows in color, the information on the website, it's the model number is MMS476, 2 sheets, moderate difficulty, and it has the sizing. I don't remember what the sizing, and I didn't look to see what the sizing is on the original. I should have done that. But the model number is listed as MMS476. This is MMS44B, which is connected to the original silver MMS444. So they added a B and put it in color, and it became exclusive for Books A Million. But now it looks like they're making it just a general model. However, the model number has changed. So has the model changed, or is it just the packaging? Something I'll have to maybe do a little bit more research on and just generally keep an eye out to see how much that changes. But that's interesting. And then of course we have the Hogwarts Express with tracks. I've got that model as well. I've not yet built it. It is listed on the Metal Earth webpage as MMS447. This is an MMS, I just saw it, 445B. So basically you had 444B and 445B, because there is no original silver version of this, at least not with tracks. The silver Hogwarts Express without the tracks was just MMS440, so there doesn't seem to be a connection there. This is listed as 5 sheets, challenging category, and no listing for assembled size for the newer version of this. Again, I don't know if it's going to be the exact same model, maybe with different packaging or not. Did not think to look at the assembled size and see how that compares, but we don't have an assembled size for this to compare it to. So I'll have to keep an eye on that and see what more information I can dig up, because there was quite a bit to talk about, and some of my research was interrupted by a nap because I was tired. But interesting that that seems to be changing to where these are no longer going to be exclusives and they're coming out as regular models, and I wonder what the situation is there. Probably we'll never find out. Not sure that I'll speculate that much. It's kind of nice that these are going to be more easily available. Previously, they were a Books A Million exclusive, although you could get them at Second and Charles, which is related to Books A Million. There was another store, but I can't remember the name. Now, moving on from Metal Earth, we take a look at Piececool's website, and things have changed a bit since last we looked. We've got a couple of new pages of up to like 6 or 7 different models, depending on how you look at it. First of all, we got the Torre di Pisa, or the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Pisa, not pizza. Said that wrong. The Leaning Tower of Pisa, which first thought, and I think CodeWiki had the same thought on CodeWiki's page, Metal Earth Builder. He puts that this is a rehash of a model they've already put out, but actually it doesn't look like Piececool ever put out the Leaning Tower of Pisa model, or at least not a larger size one. So for Piececool, which is closely related to Metal Earth, this is new for them, and it looks like it's even bigger than the Iconics or premium sized version that Metal Earth have. I do have that one unbuilt. I never put it together. But, and I'm stealing some information from MetalEarthBuilder.com, from CodeWiki. It doesn't appear to be a copy. It appears to be a larger version. The sizing is a bit bigger than the premium or Iconics version, and it has a bit more detail and a splash of color on it. It's listed as P-180-SR. The model number is 3 1/8 sheet, 127 pieces, 430 stainless steel. The finish size is listed as 4.5 centimeters by 4.5 by a height of 16.8 centimeters, 4 out of 7 star difficulty. And it kind of makes me think of what they did with the Star Wars models, like the Star Destroyer and Solo Falcon, and I think they also did it with C-3PO and R2-D2, where they came out with Piececool versions that were just a little bit bigger than the Metal Earth version with a little bit of changed detail or changed paint color. Not a lot though. So I'm guessing they're doing something similar with the Leaning Tower of Pisa. So now if you want the biggest version, you're going to have to get their version, I suppose. Moving on from that, we have the Mini Lion Dance is how it translated, or the English version Mini Color Lion. Makes a lot more sense that way. And again, I'm borrowing from CodeWiki because it is challenging to translate all of this stuff, and my phone doesn't always want to cooperate. But from what CodeWiki has pulled up, it looks like these are smaller versions of the dancing lions they've already released. These are just smaller versions. There's 6 different ones, and there's apparently 2 different ways they're going to be packaged. You either buy all 6 in a set, or you buy a single, but you're not going to know which one you get. It's going to be a surprise, like a random single model, which is an interesting direction to go with that. I guess, at being the kind of person that wants to have them all, if I were to get that, I'd go ahead and get the pack of 6 and get one of each and not fiddle around with buying them independently. The information for that, like model numbers and sheets and sizes, I didn't really find that. It just kind of says reference each individual one, but I didn't see anything about each individual one. One thing it did say is the number of parts was 0. I don't think that's going to be the case. And I have to say this, I don't know if this is just going to be the lions, or if it's going to include some of the stuff you see in the picture, like there's a neat little basketball and skateboard. I don't know if that comes with the full set of 6. Kind of doubt it, but that would almost be neat and also a little weird. Skating, basketball, dribbling, miniature, dancing lions. Sure, why not? It is set as a 2 of 7 star difficulty for these lions, so at least I have that piece of information. So it doesn't look like building the smaller dancing lions is going to be a big challenge. I don't have any of the dancing lions. I kind of feel like I should get one now. Maybe go ahead and get the mini set of 3 when they come out. Now, kind of picking up with my last short little video earlier in the week, I talked a few days ago about 3 new space, like Chinese space station and satellite and rocket models that I had forgotten to talk about in the last full video. I did see today, or last night, doing research, they are available in a couple of different places on AliExpress, namely Crazy Toys via AliExpress has it, so they probably also have it on Crazy Toys website. Didn't check. But if they don't, they probably will soon. So those 3, it was a ship, like a rocket, and tower and stand. There was a bunch of orbiting satellites orbiting the Earth, and there was a Chinese space station. And all 3 of those models are available now. Apparently, according to a comment I got on that video, China is working on their own space station and on stuff. So that's why they're kind of, you know, put this model out, kind of celebrating their nation's achievements, I suppose. Of course, anybody can get them. It's a little bit tempting because the rocket does look pretty impressive. But moving on from that, there are a couple other Iron Star models that, thanks to Garth, he pointed me to them because they're not in any of the stores I normally follow. So I ended up finding another store based off the pictures that Garth sent me. We have, it looks like 2 different color versions of the Iron Star RX-7-FC, like race car type model. And at first I just thought there was a red one, but then I found out there's a red version, and then there's a blue version. It's basically the same car from what I can tell, same decals and paint job, just one's red and one's blue. The information appears to be the same. There's not a lot of information, just says that there's 2 sheets and a 3 to 4 star difficulty, nothing about the size. And there appears to be 2 different listings on this store. I found them on a store called Hippo-Hobby store on AliExpress. Of course, all this stuff I'm talking about, I'm going to try and put links down in the description below so you can check this out for yourself. $22.42 for the red and I believe the blue RX-7 models, RX-7-FC. And then we have an Iron Star. It's just kind of an orange, black, and white car. I'm not sure what this one is. It looks like it might be a Nissan, but I'm not really sure. Same kind of thing. It's another race car, custom paint job, some decals, names, and whatnot on it. Also limited information on this one, just 2 sheets, 3 to 4 star difficulty, and same Hippo Hobby shop. I've not seen it anywhere else. I had to do a search specifically for the cars to even find them. But, you know, I'll of course put up a picture of that if you're interested in those. I know there were some previous race cars that came out some time back, and I think this store also has those. I think they had shown up on Crazy Toys before. I haven't looked back through my previous videos to see which ones they were, because that's a daunting task, honestly. I've got a lot of videos. But it kind of looks like Iron Star is just doing more race car type models. Kind of neat. If you're into that thing, I like cars, but not as fond of race cars. Like, nothing against it. It's a fun sport. I'm sure there's people who enjoy it. I kind of like the old classic cars, like what Metal Earth did with the Fords. I like the old classic stuff a little bit more than I do the race stuff. But that's just me. This definitely would appeal to people who are more into racing, though it's going to be more Chinese, Japanese car manufacturers than American car manufacturers, which, you know, we have NASCAR, bless our hearts. Very different kind of ball game there. So unfortunately, not a lot of information about those 2 vehicles, nothing about the size, but I'll put links in the description down below for you to check them out for yourself, and in time maybe there will be sizing, maybe someone else will start carrying this model, or maybe some reviews will start pointing to some more information. And definitely, you know, maybe they'll show up on the Metal Earth subreddit to where we can see more. I'm guessing they're going to be a fairly standard size, whatever a standard size is. I don't know. It's up for speculation. It'll be interesting to see what happens with the Piececool Lions models, and also to see what we're actually going to get as far as those 2 Hogwarts in color models, if they're going to be the same and just different packaging, or if there's going to be differences to them. I'm going to have to keep my eye on that and do a little bit more research on that to see what's going on there, because that was unexpected. That surprised me today. And before I wrap up this week, I do want to share some pictures that have been shared with me from a George Rodriguez here over the past few weeks. Now, George Rodriguez, I talked about some of the custom stuff he'd done with Metal Earth models previously. I don't know how many weeks, months back it was, but it's something that he's done fairly recently that I wanted to share again. George Rodriguez took a Fokker tri-wing model and modified it to be a Sopwith, S-O-P-W-I-T-H plane, because apparently he wanted one of those in his collection and there is no model out there. So he basically made one. He took a Fokker and removed one of the wings and some of the parts and just modified it, like put modeling dough on parts of it and modified it, just sculpted it and painted it and changed the rear part and around the wings and the front part and added guns and just did all this amazing stuff to it, and changed the engine part so that you can see, I love this part, you change the engine part so that you can see all the different cylinders and the little fins, cooling fins on each cylinder. I like engines, so what can I say? Just fantastic. Even took, and he's doing this paired with a kind of custom Fokker model that he's built and put on a custom stand. But he took little scuba diving figures and modified them to be pilots for the different planes. I remember in one of the comments he said he used the scuba divers because they come with scuba diving goggles, and he could modify the goggles to be airplane goggles, because these planes are just open cockpit designs and you had to wear goggles to protect your eyes in the wind. And he's able to modify the scuba divers so that it works, and has put pilots in each of these planes and custom painted it and basically created a different plane out of a tri-wing Fokker, and it just blows my mind. It's absolutely amazing. And I've got there's so many pictures that he sent me. I'm not going to share every one of them, but you know, throw up a few pictures here and there, and of the more or less end results of the Fokker with a custom stand, and the Sopwith with a custom stand, and it's fantastic. I love it. Well done, George Rodriguez. Thank you for sharing those models and that process with me. It is fantastic. I imagine he's probably shared it in some communities out there as well. But thank you for sharing it directly with me and allowing me to post this for other people to see. This is absolutely amazing work, and apparently he does this kind of stuff in his spare time with a lot of things. Just makes what he wants to make. It's amazing, fantastic, well done. Wanted to share that. I'm going to end the video with that today. As always, if you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them down below. I always appreciate the interactions, although I admittedly can be pretty slow getting back to you. Life keeps me busy now. I'm working full-time, sometimes more than full-time. You know, there's a lot of talk, at least here in the United States, about not being able to find enough work, and there's a million different reasons why. And for whatever reasons I don't want to dive too much into, we have lost a lot of people at the place where I work because they basically found better opportunities elsewhere, and so that left us shorthanded, and now we're trying to find people to replace it, which means the people who are there are being offered all kinds of overtime. And of course I've scooped some of that up because that's saving money right there. A little bit extra money to put into savings for the future, why not? But it's also a bit exhausting, both physically and mentally, and yeah. That's part of the reason today's video is a bit late, because I came home and tried to put a video together and got some of my research done and was falling asleep. I was like, you know what? I'm taking a nap. It's going to be late, but I'm taking a nap. Anyway, thank you everyone for watching. Thank you for your comments. Thank you to my Patreon supporters for continuing to support this channel. It is greatly appreciated. And so I will see you next time in either another news video or a review or another build, whatever I can get to next. Or I really would like to redo some of my tools and tips and tricks. I talked about that previously. I'd like to sit down and find some time to kind of re-record stuff that I'm using now, because things have changed over time, and actually put something together, maybe put it as like a channel trailer. It's what I'd like to do. Whether or not I'm going to find the time, that's the big question. Thank you for watching. As always, keep on keeping on.